Thank you for being here today. Today, the Women's Studies Committee is going to give you a very brief introduction to Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde was an American writer, activist, and librarian. She described herself as a Black, lesbian, mother, warrior, poet, who dedicated both life and work to confronting various systems of oppression, including racism, sexism, classism, heterosexism, and capitalism. Lorde was born in New York City to Caribbean immigrants who settled in Harlem. Lorde's relationship with her parents was difficult from a young age. She spent little time with them as they were busy maintaining their real estate business after the Depression. When she did see them, they were often emotionally distant. In particular, Lorde's relationship with her mother was characterized by tough love and a strict adherence to family rules. Lorde's difficult relationship with her mother was a topic in her later poems. Lorde called for an intersectional consideration of women's experiences, and this is significant. Many white feminists were angered by Lorde's brand of feminism. She challenged underlying racism within feminism, describing it as unrecognized dependence on patriarchy. She argued that, by denying difference in the category of women, white feminists merely furthered old systems of oppression, and that in so doing, they were preventing any real lasting change. Her argument aligned white feminists who did not recognize race as a feminist issue with white male slave masters, describing both as agents of oppression. Audre Lorde has written numerous books. In 1980, Lorde wrote The Cancer Journals. The book deals with her struggle with breast cancer and connects it to her own identity and the social issues she cared about, namely feminism and civil rights. Each chapter includes passages from her own personal diary. When speaking about the lack of intersectional feminism in the United States, Lorde famously said, "Those of us who stand outside the circle of this society's definition of acceptable women, those of us who have been forged into the crucibles of difference, those of us who are poor, who are lesbians, who are Black, who are older, know that survival is not an academic skill. It is learning how to take our differences and make them strengths. For the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us temporarily to beat him in his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change. And this fact is only threatening to those women who still define the master's house as their only source of support." If you'd like to learn more about Audre Lorde, I encourage you to check out one of her many books and poems. Let's take a look at a trailer of a documentary about her life.
I'm finishing this piece of my bargain. And what I mean by that is it doesn't matter how long it takes to finish it, I don't know. But that is the shape of where I am living and functioning. And that I'm going on to something else, the shape of which I have no idea. Only thing I know is it's going to be quite different. What I leave behind has a life of its own. I've said this about poetry. I've said it about children. Well, in a sense, I'm saying it about the very artifact of who I have been.
For those of us who live at the shoreline, standing upon the constant edges of decision, crucial, alone, for those of us who cannot indulge the passing dreams of choice, who love in doorways, coming and going in the hours between dawn, looking inward and outward at once, before and after, seeking nows that can breed future.
I remembered all of those particular things. I started writing because I had a need inside of me to create something that was not there.
Now you say you're lonely. You cry the whole
I was editor of my high school magazine, and I wrote a poem about love. And the student advisor, the faculty advisor, said it was a bad sonnet. And I really knew that it was a good one, do you see? But I knew that she didn't like it because of the things that I said in it. So I sent it off to 17 magazine, and they bought it. And I made more money from that one poem than I made for the next 10 years.
You say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry.